Omituiselle äänelle kuin näille vitseille. Yeah. Big booty.
You like some big booty?
Always. May God bless me with some chick with a big booty.
Amen.
I mean, I don't mind, I don't like the joke you said earlier, motherfucker.
Oh boy.
That was
Vdicha. Okay, welcome back everybody, Opinion Outlaws. And before we even start, you know what to do. There is some buttons over there, and there are some places that you need to press. Just hit the like button or dislike. You can hit both.
You is a B if you do that.
Put the comment section on something. Subscribe button and then notification if you want to be from the first persons who watched our videos or listen to our content. Ooh. And go check out Spotify till March. There are coming episodes.
Hey, no way, this guy with the due dates.
Till March.
Man, with the due dates, crazy work right there.
And today, before we started, we had a few conversations actually, and it was very insightful, very deep, but it was kind of more like to pick each other's brains up. And from the last episode, it kind of went for a short while.
Oh yeah,
because we had some technical issues. But hey, it is what it is.
It is what it is. You can't complain. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Exactly.
So basically, we had technical issues with the mic. Somebody forgot to, charge the battery, and the mic decided to say deuces.
Hey, well, honest mistake, because for real, I don't remember when I have charged it, and we have done episode after episode after episode, like back to back.
That's true. That's at least something we can say that. Advertisement, we're not sponsored yet, but advertisement. DG,
highly recommend. Good battery.
And how long it lasted? Like, if you count
10 episodes.
The previous season, all throughout, pretty much. From episode 3 or 2.
3.
3 or 4. Yeah, something like that, like the early episode. Yeah. I think it was 3. After third episode,
Third episode, and few episodes have been longer, few episodes been shorter.
But estimation is
like 10 episodes.
At least at minimum an hour.
Yeah.
Is per episode. It's pretty it does like 10 hours easily.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I must say even this, the quality has been on point.
Exactly. Like I said, I have some reason. Actually, I don't want to ruin the sponsorship chances, but why I prefer this mic or this brand's products, because the sound quality, at least to my ear, sounds much more clear than certain brands.
If any other brand wants to disprove that, they are welcomed. So
we're just saying. At least so far, what I've tested, certain mics sound noticeably smoother.
Yo.
So let's head out to today's topic. We gotta keep it efficient and productive.
We have
certain individual out here,
No, we don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. We have to just keep going. Mm-hmm. So
he said, keep it pushing.
We don't talk about that. The topic in itself. Last time we were talking about the middle ground, that how it has been minimalized altogether. But now we want a segue from that, as in from that middle ground. Do we still find the places to belong, and especially belong in these kind of branches that usually people belong? Is it in their religion? Is it in their ideology? Is it in their country? Is it in our music, arts, sports, for example? And the segue is that in those scenarios, how they have been refined from the history. Mm-hmm. The first thing that comes to mind is the gladiators, because they were this modern day entertainments. People actually
WWE with your life.
They actually went there, and they didn't know if they gonna live, but basically they went there for 10-15 minutes. They were giving all out. But that community of gladiators, they were still like a small group of people, but they were sportsmen. Sportsmen in a sense.
Intense sport, I'm telling you.
Intense sport. But now we take that similar sport and we transition to today's day is the UFC. UFC is maybe the Colosseum, the same, but because gladiators weren't fighting only in Colosseum. Same thing as in UFC. But the UFC and Colosseum are those biggest stages that people win.
For two people to go, or how many people they go, to do what they need to do.
And the refining is very interesting that still at the test of time, people belonged in something. It was like a basic need for it. But tell me this, the refinance in itself, I'm gonna even have this open. When it comes to sports, for example, you are a sportsman yourself. You are a sportsman yourself.
I mean, I hope I am. Gee, man.
But have you seen because for example, you have the strong cultural side from the roots of Africa, motherland. Have you seen, for example, the difference between belonging in that group, in the motherland, and belonging in the sports? I don't know, have you seen the difference when it comes to like actually for those ideas or those actions or values that you have in those two separate occasions, even though because before you weren't included in this sport that you're doing right now. But actually, better question is that do you belong in that sport that you're doing now? Have you felt that way?
Well, if I understand your question correctly, I would say like this. Well, the sport that I'm doing right now, basically track and field, people understand what that means. I don't necessarily feel like I belong, but I do it out of like enjoyment and also indirectly supporting our homeboy because he does it as a main hobby of his or main, how would I say, sport of his.
Yeah.
To try to achieve some type
Shout out
to him, of course. So to me personally, I've told him, I actually spoke to him yesterday and I told him like, to me personally, I don't find this sport as something that I want to or try to achieve a big degree on it or a big something crazy on it, Olympics or etc. Because it is not my sport in that sense. I do it because it's a nice way of doing exercise right now. And of course, if I can achieve something greater with it, I don't complain about it. So in that sense, I haven't. And also the group that we are in is not that big.
Yeah.
So we don't interact constantly. So there's not that type of unity in that sense. Is there unity? Of course, with the coach to some degree and with teammates, of course, to some degree. But it's not that I'm constantly like, hey, yo, what's going on? What's going on with life? We might meet in practice here and there, but because of my schedule, I might be doing a lot of practices on my own because I get out so late and everybody's timeline is not matching with mine. So, yeah, in that sense, we don't get that unity. And I bet our homeboy could agree with this because he lives in a whole different city.
Yeah.
And he basically does his practice on his own most of the time and so on, so on. So, to relate to the question on motherland, of course, I've lived so far away from the home country for so long that there might be slight detachment as well on the country. Of course, I might feel little prideness on, I'm African and so on, so on, so on. But do I feel that connected with example community in there? Might not be it because there's, like I said, small detachment to some degree that I have adapted to this culture as well a lot. So I might have some traits that I'm like, oh yeah, or like I might not know you, but I might not know some African, but I'm like, oh you.
Hey, if you're listening to Spotify, go watch it on YouTube. What I just did, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh jeez.
But yeah.
Oh yeah. Except that department, of course. You know, I might meet some African in the public and so on. I'm like, you see from their parents they're African. Of course, I will some degree have automatic connection with them. Like, they're not, bro.
Tell me, because for example, in our culture, it's not. Where does that come from?
I don't fucking know.
Because I've seen
I don't fucking know.
I've seen it, and it has happened to me, a black person, to be like, yeah, to me, and I'm like, well,
I don't like, to be honest. I'm not fully sure. Is it like a nod of like, hey yo, bro, you made it too? you got the passport too, huh? But I've always taken it in a sense of like, kind of like, hey yo, black bro, what's good? Kind of in that sense, like kind of reminding, hey yo, you're not alone. Because most of the time when you go to the store, you'll see mainly the do I call homelanders or the residents of the country, basically main residents of the country. So the skin tone is a little bit different.
And we are in Finland, so we are talking about whitest of the white
type of white. So I know disrespect, 'cause they're also beautiful, but still, nobody season has always been active on a lot of people cases. But no discrimination. We take all type of flavors. But yeah, back to the main point. When we see one another, somebody who looks slightly, kind of go back to the community type of thing. You see somebody who looks slightly more like you, or have some type of trait that reminds you of your own country, or something that you are very familiar with. You're just like, oh shit, hey, yo, what's good? That's why when you see two black people in like situation where there's only mainly whites, they automatically, hey, what's good, man? Yeah. They don't even know each other. They don't even know each other's name, but they automatically, hey, like they're all friends all of a sudden.
I have a story about this, but
like literally, they act like they're all friends, but because there's that quick connection of, oh yeah, we're kind of like different from the group and connected to some degree, quote unquote connected by skin color mostly, but that's a one demonstration on why, for example, when we go to store and you see some black guy, be like, and you're like, so. It's kind of like indirect communication of like, hey, yo, I see you. Yeah, kind of like being, how would I say, seen and heard.
Yeah. It's interesting to see. For example, I remember with you and with our homeboy, when somebody like black goes like crosses, what's up? Do you know him? Nah. Like, okay, but I get it.
Hey, you know he's no. Why he not to you? I don't know.
Yesterday, I was at work, and there was a customer. He was African, but I don't know how much hoods he was, but he had seen life. You can see that.
He was tugging.
He was tugging because he was with a do-rag. Ooh. This brother actually was with a do-rag.
At the swimming pool. He tugging.
And he came and he didn't, because it was his first time, he didn't know anything. And I was talking with my colleague and he comes up to us, and from all our colleagues, I'm the one who knows actually how to talk English fluently.
So you were like, yeah, my guy, get back in the seat.
And he asked me, like, he was very polite. I have to say I respect that, because even the guys and girls that we had in the workplace, they said that he looked like he had been through stuff.
Seen stuff.
Yeah, well, duh. And before I had this interaction with this guy, we talked with our colleagues about the culture of Finland when it comes to physical touch. It's almost non-existent. People react very weirdly if you initiate.
Yo, what's going on?
Initiate any kind of, especially if you, as a man, initiate with the woman. Especially then, I remember the look of a woman's face, and then the look of everybody else, like, what you doing?
I was telling a joke.
Like, it has happened so many times that, let's say I'm with the woman, I say something, and then she said, oh, come on, please stop. I'm saying, oh, what you gonna do about it? And we like go this push and pull. Every other person, and then she also like is surprised that we can have that physical touch.
Hey, let me translate the stairs. Ooh, they fucking.
Basically, that's the first idea. However, I said that it's very weird that people in Finland are very not accustomed to be physical touch, more so to the handshake. And I explained that, hey, do you know how to dab?
Hey, yo,
This one.
he said,
And even the Finnish guys, I said, well, I will teach you. I will teach you. No worries.
grab on that.
We had this conversation about 30 minutes to 1 hour before this brother came with the do-rag. And I explained, because he asked that where he can go do his thing. And I said, well, it's here, it's here, it's here. And he asked, he was very polite about it. And I said, okay, cool, do you need that? Hey, thanks a lot, man. And I extend my hand, and he said, hey, but I had a wet hand. I was like, bro, no worries. He extended, go like this. He said,
You know, that doesn't
and he went out, and I started laughing my ass off because we just talked about this
with a colleague.
with colleagues. Like, Finnish people don't have this.
Right. You see me extend the hand? Hey, you already know what's going on.
And it's the same in our culture as well. Especially, I believe in your culture as well, that if you go somewhere, even if it's somebody you have never seen, you extend your hand. Hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? And it's very common, and it's actually rude if you don't shake your hand. But then this comes the belonging part, or that middle place, that let's say that you cannot shake your hand because your hands are dirty, or you just...
That's the...
In our country, we still find a way to shake somebody's hand. There you go.
Over the wrist, over the
wrist.
elbow.
Like,
especially mamas or somebody who's
They're-
eating, man.
Oh,
over
man.
the wrist or some shit.
oh man. And it's interesting to see this, even like you said, that to the belonging of that motherland, you have accustomed to this culture, but you still have that other culture's roots and values and morals. Have you seen yourself being in that middle part, in that gray zone that we talked about earlier? Or do you have any leniency towards one other culture?
Well, in my situation, I would say I'm very hybrid to some degree because I can lean to one. Depending on the situation, I can lean to one side more and to the other side more if needed. Do I have leniency towards something else, towards one of them more? Yes, I would say to a slight degree, of course, to the African roots, because I'm much more open. Even though at the same time I don't like hanging out with people, but I'm very open, as you know. I speak a lot with people, open their.
Do you know, you're an interesting case because one colleague that I have is exactly like you. Like, he doesn't like in a big group setting. He doesn't like big groups, but he loves to spend time with someone, like somebody who is close to them.
It is kind of like, and also like as you have noticed, even if we gather with big group, I can still like manage hanging out with big groups.
Yeah.
For me to get it myself out to hang out with the big group is kind of usually the issue, and to that is that I'm so accustomed to enjoying my own space, I would say, or own soulness,
Solitude.
Yeah, own solitude.
Yeah.
That I don't like to give it away easily with people, and that's something actually very opposite to somebody who's from like African background for two reasons.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So that's where I'll already kind of like separate a little bit from there.
What about if somebody is trying to suck your soul out? Are you giving
Man
the
of God.
Are you giving the solitude then?
Man of God, man.
Are you giving the solitude then?
Man of God, man. I ain't trying to put myself in this situation. I'm man of God, bro. You trying to put me on the bus, bro? You trying to put me on the bus?
No, I drive the bus. I don't put you under the bus.
Oh yeah, I see. You the one that also jumping in front of the bus. God damn it. So, nah. But all seriousness, like, that's something that kind of like separates me from the culture, because in African background, you have 9 out of 10 times you have a very big family.
Yes.
And you don't really have that time to have that solitude, let's say like that. Especially when you have like 15, well, that exaggeration, but let's say you have like 5 siblings. You don't really have that. So on peacetime, like already if you have to, because I grew up without like sibling until pretty much when I was like 18.
Yeah,
then I got like sister. But during my youth time, I didn't have a full sibling. So when I was home alone, I was alone most of the time. So I was so accustomed to that. But let's say our homeboy who had like 6 different siblings. Oh, bro, he ain't got no free time. He ain't got no time. Yo, little bro, bashing in. Hey, yo, bro, what's going on, cuz? Sister comes in. Hey, yo, cuz, what's going on? Like, you didn't have that time to dwell on your own, so you were constantly accustomed to be with people and hang out with people. And you being alone was actually kind of seen as a negative thing.
Yeah.
So that's why I kind of like say, like, I feel like I'm more of a hybrid. Like, I'm very accustomed to enjoying both of them, but preferably I like to be on my own solitude. And then to your question also, one good example would be how would I say? Why I also feel kind of like I'm leaning more to the Africa side or the home root side is example like we mentioned a moment ago about, when you don't even know somebody,
Yeah.
but you still kind of like give that nod. Or when I see somebody who's from my home country or even close to my home country and is older than me, and I go greet them, and that's all that traditional thing that I have, my home values that I'm kind of like keeping up. Which normally, if I were going through this country's customs, I wouldn't greet random people, for example, or not to random person, just like because even if you go abroad, you don't see a Finnish person nodding to another Finnish.
That's fact. That is fact.
Of course, they might start a conversation like let's say they're in the bus and they finish and see another Finnish. Oh, yeah, hey, morjesta, nice, but you don't see them like when he passes.
So,
It was good, man. It was good. Like usually, they tend to avoid having random conversation unless needed, unless it's I don't know. Because we actually had this. I'm going off topic, but we had this experience with Max when we went to Italy. Like we were in the bus, chapping our shit, sitting in the back seat, or not really back seat. I don't know, the back door. When the seats kind of go a little bit up. We were in that area, and we were talking. We started talking in Finnish. And there was a female sitting in front of Max, older female, and the way she turned around, she got that, like a Zam look. Yo, what's going on? And back in the day, she's like, "Oh, y'all from Finland too, huh?" Then of course we start chatting Finnish too, because of course that's one demonstration. I think I mentioned this in one of our episodes previously. That's one of the demonstration when somebody feels like they belong to somebody somewhere when they're in a situation where they're obviously not belonging there.
Yeah.
So she noticed that we were speaking the language that is native to her. So that kind of like connected us automatically. She's like, "Oh yeah, what's going on?" Then we started hearing stories that we didn't really ask. It wasn't really needed, but she felt so comfortable because she felt like, oh, she's kind of like back home in the sense based on the language. That we got to hear some stories where she lived, where she coming from, why she lives there, all that shit. And I was like, yeah. And of course we were polite and talked things through, told her what she wanted to know and all that stuff. And we were like, hey, yeah, have your nice day and so on. Clearly she was somebody who kind of like went there constantly, so the country wasn't fully unknown to her, but still of course it feels a little off to some degree that it is not your native country or the country that you were born in or so on and so on. But yeah, man.
Yeah. Huh?
No, don't think you slick, bro.
Oh, damn.
Don't think you slick.
You never give me a praise.
Don't think you slick. He was already trying to go to. Let me ask him a second question. No. How about you? Because I know you hold like your culture to high value and so on. That's respectable. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
You gotta
Thank
keep
you.
your home country on point.
Thank you.
And also, on top of your situation, because I was actually brought up to the country, but you were born in the country, so expectancy is that you would have the Finnish value automatically.
Yeah.
Because at least how I've seen a lot of our kids who are being born here have more of the Finnish value automatically.
Yeah.
They don't have that much of the home countryside.
Yes, sir.
So how would you see it in yourself? Like, have you been more of the gray area type of guy? Have you bounced between both of them? Or are you leaning actually more to one of them?
Good question. And actually I have a good answer to this.
Okay, let's hear.
And this is a great example of what I say when I say that they have sold their soul.
we went dark, bro. What the
Yeah,
fuck?
like it's an expression. It's not that they actually like give me the money and this is my soul, but it's an expression of sell their soul because they have forgotten of who they are. I see it like this, and you said it perfectly that you was born somewhere else. You have still the memories of that place, not clear maybe, but you still have those memories, and then you got brought here, and you have even explained in the previous episodes. Not previous, but previous episodes. You have explained that when you came here, you were kind of like culture shock because here the contrast was very big. Like there was loud and a lot of lights and a lot of people, and then you came here like, where are the people? Where are the people?
Bro, the country looked dusty that day. Because I came at the worst times as well. I came during springtime.
Yeah, something like that.
Early
yeah.
spring, you know, when it's gray. But yeah.
So, to me, I have to first thank my parents. I'm forever grateful. I don't know how we'll ever pay their debt on that they kept our traditions when we came home. It was rules. There are very strict rules for it. And usually the father was the disciplinary, but in this time, both parents were as rough as possible when it came to these rules. Because we had this kind of rule that the moment you step from the door, you're not in Finland anymore.
Oh yeah, I know the feeling, bro. It was kind of like old space. They're like the country changed all of a sudden.
Like it was like instant, and we had even the setting that we were like being was not finished at all. There was some things over there, some things over there. Like the smell was different, the voices, the sounds, the
TV
atmosphere,
was
the
playing.
TV. We never watched Finnish TV.
Oh, I remember.
Or if we watched, it was only because of cartoons.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
Because
nobody was watching Salkari. Like,
for example, I don't know any immigrant who watched Salkari. I don't know anyone. I'm talking about personal stuff. I don't know if you know one.
I don't know immigrant. I know the hybrids.
Well, you see hybrids. Like I'm talking about
the ones that are mixed. I know some of them, but I don't know like fully on like immigrant that is like what. Because in our situation, like we tend to buy the satellites or the
what I'm talking about
to get them own country news.
Oh man, and we had this struggle because of course the satellites was before the internet connection was widespread, and it was before many people, the youngsters may not even know what you talk about. Basically, my brother, we had to help our father, the big ass satellite, to turn it. It was heavy, so we were like we were little kids like. What about now?
Is the TV working?
Is the TV working? Is the TV working? And there were only 3 channels that worked. But with those 3 channels, the essence was that we will keep our culture. And more so that, especially for father, it was very important that we keep the few traditions, not all of them, of course, God forbid. But the few tradition that we had, we keep it. The simple tradition, for example, in our culture, the tradition, very simple, is that if guests come over, we treat them with open arms. We give them food, we give them coffee, we give them tea. And we talk about that. How is their life and what they do. Like it was like not only that they are guests, but also the social thing that the people did. And then the other tradition, for example, to eat our food, the traditional food. The tradition was that every time we eat it together. There's no separation of somebody over there, somebody over. No, we all eat together. And other tradition that we had, for example, the head of the family, in our case was our father. He takes all the responsibility, but he has also all the authority. If in his house he said something, it was like that.
It was a rule. It's a law.
It is a law. However, our father was also smart about it. If he set that rule, he also obeyed it. Like he wasn't the hypocrite about it. That hey, go wash your hands, but then he doesn't wash his hands. Like it wasn't like that. But you asked me about which part I lean more. I lean so much to my culture because I have mentioned 2 episodes before, I never belonged in the sense of other places and with other human beings. So my culture became such a strong emphasis of my identity that I am very proud of who I am, where I come from, with what kind of parents do I have, what kind of ethnicity do I have, what do I believe in, or history. I am very proud of those things, and I am very proud of how that history has come up to this point. And because of those things, I have a very strong sense of patriotism.
Patriot, national,
Well, nationalist, not so. I don't.
patriots, because
Nationalist, I would say you believe that all other nations are below you. Like France, for example, they do that. But patriotism more that you love your country so much or ethnicity so much. And then, of course, what we had a good thing was that even if our father didn't have money, he somehow always managed to send us to the home country. That we meet our cousins or meet.
I remember Bagai pretty much went every summer to home country.
Even
which is,
even if our father didn't have money, it was amazing. Our father,
I somehow managed this nigga.
But-
I'm going to home country during the summer. What the?
but we went there and we learned that who is this, who is that, what are they, what are the grandparents, for example. If I didn't went as a kid, I would never meet them. This is a plain signed fact. I would never meet my grandparents because both my grandmother, she died before I was born. My grandparents, grandfathers, both of them, they died like when I was 9 and 12, something like that. The only grandparent that I have is my grandmother, who is still alive, but she has this situation where she has one leg under the earth and one above it. Like she's in a place where she's not useful to anyone. Unfortunately, she just has a very bad state of health at this point, and I wish her that she will get better soon or goes to a better place. But I have this strong sense of this is the part of my identity. But I have seen, even here in our city, I have seen my countrymen sell their soul, and all of a sudden they have lots of friends, they have good job opportunities, they have sports, they have these all these attributes. But if I ever will look them in the eyes, they cannot look me back because I haven't sold my soul. I was ready to be absolutely alone from the friend group, but I was not ready to say that, yeah, I'm finished too. And you can see it even in this workplace that I am right now. The plethora of times, once a week at least, once a week, it happens that because I am the only not Finnish over there, I'm the only one who is not from Finland. When they talk, for example, with one another, I'm not with that conversation because I don't know what they're talking about. Not that I don't understand the Finnish language, but I'm not inside of that story. I don't understand that. But for example, the disparity from these cultures, great example of the music. In our workplace, because it's more that you have to surveillance the place, we have the option to play music. And every time they play Finnish music, my ears, for example, they don't like.
My ears start bleeding.
My ears don't like Finnish music because Finnish language in itself is not arts. It's not, we have talked about this also. It doesn't bring that poetic beautifulness that my language can bring, or Arabic, that brings that certain melody. Or English, for example, it doesn't bring that melody. Finnish language is more like work language.
Work like
Work.
labor.
From this to this. From point A to point B. It doesn't have this connotation. It doesn't have the flow. It doesn't have that you go high, you go low. It doesn't have that fluency. And as you can see, I talk a lot with hands. It's always funny because I'm talking Finnish, which is more like this. I'm talking Finnish like this, but I talk with hands. All of a sudden, it's like already a contradiction.
Yeah, so technically you are doing the little bounce around with the.
Well, in technical sense, out of need, I would say, not out of like. But I have to say this: I have also taken things from Finnish culture into myself. For example, well, not anymore, but I would say 10 years before, Finnish culture was very big on time.
Oh yeah, you gotta be on time, baby.
You know what I'm talking about? Like if they say 5 o'clock,
You already were there 15
Four-
minutes before.
4:45, you're there. And I have to respect that. I'm talking about now Finnish people who are older. Youngsters, they don't care. Even if it's like the core of the culture to be on time, they don't care. Or for example, this one is a big one, and I respect them. I don't like about it, but I respect it. That they protect one another when it comes to Finnish. Even if their shit stinks. I'm talking about stank. Even if the Finnish people's shit smells. Everybody's shit smells. I'm not saying that. But Finnish people have this, that even if their shit smells, they protect that person because they are Finnish.
Yeah, I plead the fifth, bro. What the?
I'm talking about what they
You
do.
had shit stain and all that.
Have you seen? If you go to the store, they usually buy Finnish products.
Oh yeah, true.
They don't buy products that are outside of Finland. I'm talking about the majority of Finnish people, and I respect that. I respect because they are.
Hey, you gotta support the local, bro.
They support their kind. They support their nation. They support their own ethnicity. I wish my countrymen would do that. I wish my country, my nation would do the same thing. I'm jealous of it because they support that. And because of that, I have this sense of certain type of respect. And that's why I have adapted these things. For example, they're supportive, of course, when it's wrong, I will say it's wrong. But I support my products more than I support, for example, someone else's product. Or that being on time. It's a huge thing for me. But unfortunately, I have friends and
Hey, who you trying to point out? I'm on time, baby. I'm on time.
I have friends and family members who maybe aren't that punctual in this
Yeah,
sense.
I know that feeling. You know, somebody tells you 10:30, motherfucker appears around 11:30.
And the worst thing, oh, oops, I'm sorry.
Man,
What you mean I'm sorry? What about I smacked the shit out of you? Oh, I'm sorry.
if your lateness does not pay the bills, man, you better shove that story up your ass.
But it has been this kind of in the gray zone, but more towards much more towards my country. Because I have also seen this, and it breaks my heart every time when I see, like I said, from the same nation, from the same country, from the same place. Only difference is you and me don't have anything in common. We don't have anything to connect on. But this is an interesting place between me and you guys. Because I go often to my homeland. Even though it's once a year, it's more often that you have guys. When I go there, I'm still an outsider over there. Because I am punctual. And especially there, if there has been a service towards me, I'm very kind to them. Thank you very much.
Hold on, who this?
Like, and they noticed every time they notice. They cannot notice in my country. They cannot notice that from my language, or from my way of talking, or from my way of speaking. They don't know that I have been brought and raised in another country completely. But where they notice is the way that I treat one another. Thank you very much. May I please have this?
Man, who is this just here?
All of a sudden, well, you are too kind to be around here. What happened? Who is you? We know you're not from here.
You ain't local.
And I have also that dissonance over there as well. Because even though I have that culture and tradition and language, they are still the part of where they live. The punctuality, for example, you say they're 5 o'clock, they come to 7, and they were like, well, oops.
Shit happened.
Or if you cannot go with a plan over there, like you say at 5, you go there at 5, and they miraculously come at 5. You don't have any idea how long you will take there. It can be 5 to 6 hours.
Actually, that's funny thing about the thing that in my situation, in our culture, like it literally goes like that. People say 5 o'clock, people appear around 7. Like the earliest people around maybe 6:30, which is kind of like hella annoying, especially now that for me also I kind of have adapted to that time schedule thing. That if you tell me 10:30 we will meet.
Yes, sir.
Because there is that thing that I respect your time as well. That's why I do it. That's why I do it. That's why I come that, and also it's kind of general shows respect.
Yeah.
And that you're organized to
Yes,
some
sir.
degree. So that in that situation, I also kind of like noticed that I kind of like shift to other culture more, which is not a bad thing, because I wanted to actually go back to it, that when you mentioned about selling somebody's soul, when somebody sells their soul to adapt themselves into the culture, it's not really that. That's more like a metaphorical way of saying, like,
it's not even. I'm sorry to interrupt, but it's not even adaptation. But they see it as
purely just throw it out. Just
they see it as it's better this than that because they get this approval over here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, kind of like peer pressuring yourself into
Basically,
something. And of course, when he says that, we're not trying to like demonize the culture.
No,
we are here. Like, it's a beautiful culture. It has its own like cons and pros, of course, like any other culture. So we're not trying to be here. Oh yeah, our country better than your. Of course,
I'm talking about the same thing if the Finnish people go over somewhere else.
it says like, oh, I enjoy what I had home.
When they went, for example, in Sweden, Finnish people don't talk about this, but almost, so how much? 400,000 immigrated in Sweden. Did they sell their soul? My question, I'm just asking the questions. I don't know how many Finnish people know the history, but they were immigrants as well.
During the war.
Yeah.
Was it Second World War or the first one?
During the Second World, because it was the Russia and Germany was fighting, and Finland was with Germany. So the Winter War.
Okay, but what happened? No, what was going on? I forgot about history a lot of times. I remember. No, but the moment when Finland got its quote unquote independence, it was after the First World War.
It was.
Finland had beef with who at that time?
It was 1917.
But wasn't then also kids being sent, or I don't remember.
Not then. No, the history goes like this. Because the only reason that the Finland got independence was because of Russia was collapsing, and it collapsed. And then during that time, they said, oh, well, give it to them, they will flunk. And in Finland, just like in any other country, except of course yours truly, the civil war happened, red versus white, immediately in 1918. And then the purification happened. And afterwards, until the Second World War, Finland was in the middle of fighting Russia, but it wasn't about Finland, it was about Germany. Because Germany was with Finland, and Finland was with Germany, and therefore Russia was...
Oh, we Nazis.
Basically what Russia did was that Russia wanted to prevent that any attack comes from Finland. But how the prevention happens was to attack first. And that's when the Winter War happened. And that's when Finland lost a lot of territory. A lot of territory lost, and during that time the immigration happened.
Okay.
Because then times start to be a lot tough.
Cold times, man, cold times.
Well, this is where with Finnish people I have sometimes, like youngsters, not that much, but with older people, they have this like, I'm better than you. Brother, your father and grandfather had to take the cover-ups from the woods mash them, put it in the boiled water, and eat that. Because they didn't have food, they didn't have anything to survive on. And now you act this kind of high and up. Both our countries, there hasn't been a very long time that the war happened. All I'm saying. But for the selling soul of the part, I'm not bashing the culture, I'm bashing the person who throws away their culture just to adapt to the place that they are in. In the sake of forgetting their culture, because there will be a moment where they don't know who they are. If you don't know where you come from, you don't know where you're going.
Amen.
Amen to that.
Amen. Shit, I almost forgot what I was about to say. Oh yeah. I remember. Yeah, about the selling your soul part. Like I can relate to that a lot because in people from my country as well, in this country, have done it a lot of cases, like a lot of times. Like I don't know, a lot of handful people, or more than handful people that have done that. That purely, they do not identify themselves directly anymore. That they're from this country. They're like, nah, I'm this, and that's it. Like I would say like it has gone to that extent that if you tell them that hey, aren't you from this background? They're like, nah, bro. Nah,
Yeah.
Like they try to kind of like hide or erase their background fully. I don't know, is it a shame or something, hate towards it? But at least modern youth have kind of like forgotten their background fully. And like I said earlier, I don't like take it as a bad thing if you adapt to the culture to some degree. Of course, if you live in somebody else's country, you have to adapt to it to some degree,
like
respectfully, and also, like I said, learn the language and so on and so on. Which is going big right now with the immigration, I finish our complaining.
Well, that's a bit different issue.
That's a different issue, but I mean, they're wrong, you got to learn the basic language and able to communicate with the natives so in order to...
You came here, this is their country, their house, their rules. Respect them.
Respect them. So I don't like black paint that part of, adapting to the culture. But the moment that you kind of like give up on your own culture just to purely take the other culture, that's the moment where you start kind of like fucking up. And a lot of the youths nowadays have done that. Like they purely gave up on their like literally the moment I heard like a lot of youths, for example, because we have a big thing that you have to respect the elders.
Yes.
And when I heard like when I went to this other city and the older lady told me like, yeah, I appreciate that you greeted and all that, I don't know, kids out here disrespectful. The kids out here disrespectful and all that. Like they see you in the bus, they look away. They ain't even trying to say hi or not. They look away straight up. Like I'm like it has gone to that degree. Like I know one country that have the same big thing. Like you have to respect your elders or somebody who's from your same country. Nigerians.
Yes.
Nigerians, bro. They play around with that thing. You see somebody from your country who's older than you. That hand better be moving.
You have to go and talk to
You better be moving.
Yes,
it already happened. You already moved.
Yes.
it ain't that you're about to move. You already moved.
Yes.
So that's a big thing. And even on the speaking term, because as we mentioned before, like the language is a very big thing that you have to have your... I know a couple of like families like speak their mother tongue, the actual mother tongue. Because in our country we have the Arabic and then we have the mother tongue in itself. Like Arabic is generic because we were invaded by Arabs and we kind of like fused with them to some degree. So that's why we have Arab as a native language. But of course, some of us, like I know some who don't even know the Arabic, but they know the mother language, so they're more in tune with their country, like community, which is kind of like respectable. I don't even know my mother tongue because my parents didn't really know it that well. Like I said, a lot of them spoke Arabic mostly.
Yeah.
So Even if you had Arabic, at least that some way kind of like resonates with their own country. But a lot of youths nowadays don't even know Arabic either. Like, that's how bad it is right now. So I understand the term of selling your soul because a lot of them have done that,
Yeah.
and I don't purely put that blame on the kids either.
Of course not.
Either, because this was something I spoke with my mom. Like, I understand the youth to some degree that they kind of feel shameful of their own country because right now, for example, in my country, mostly what we have had, well, the separation with North and South, well, the Sudan and South. Second of all, the wars, constant wars. Like, y'all hungry, y'all in poor situation. Why y'all fighting?
Yeah.
Who y'all fighting at this point? Like, y'all literally killing each other for political reason or your opinions or whatever other bullshit you got going on. So there's nothing really proudful for the youths to be like, oh, look at my country. Because anytime somebody asks you, where you from? They're like, I'm from this country. Oh yeah, the country that has civil war going on right now. Oh, the chaotic place right now. Like, there's no. That's why I said, like, I don't blame the youth at all in that situation. And when parents say like, oh, when you study hard, you grow up and you become this and that, you go back to our own country. And you imagine the youth that has been raised here and all their life they'll be hearing that your country has war going on. Not a lot of them get excited of, going back all of a sudden. No. Most of them be like, nah, I ain't going. Or man, fight that country at that point because they do not have that connection with it and they do not have proper reason even to even be proudful of it. Except compared to a Finnish person who's like, oh yeah, my father was in a war and protected the country till the end and all that shit. And you see, we made this and that, the world knows us from this and that, and every time you mention Finland, for example, somebody from America, they automatically, oh yeah, the cold place. And then after that, they start building up with the good things, like, oh yeah. But mention certain African country, unless it's a Nigeria or Ghana or some shit like that everybody knows from the dancing and good food, people will think about like war mostly.
Yeah.
So,
and it's not even the people's fault.
Not even people's fault. And also we have the kind of like dilemma of our own on the part that youth that exceed on like sports, they do not represent their own home country.
Yeah,
or the country that they were brought up from. They represent the country that they do their thing right now.
Yes.
Which I respect certain athletes in Finland that actually shows respect to our boat.
Yeah.
Kind of like one is the Americani, for example, the UFC guy. Of course, in certain areas, I wasn't a big fan, so on. But I respected his whatever he was doing on the sport, and I respected the hustle on the game he was putting on. And on top of that even though he was going with the nickname Mr. Finland, he was still throwing the flag of his own like people.
He was
throwing that flag out, bro. I was same thing with the people who fight in UFC. Like a lot of them, they just don't throw one country's flag. Some of them be out here with two flags. Like, yeah, look at me. I'm rocking with both of them because they're kind of showing respect that I was grinded here, but I'm from here.
Like Ilya Topuria, I don't know if you know him, the UFC champ right now. Cold boy.
Crazy.
But he's doing that. He has both flags because he's originally from Georgia, but he was raised in Spain. So he has both flags.
I know one situation where some people might have problematic situation with that, throwing two flags. Actually, if I remember, it was the Naomi girl, or the tennis player, the Japanese tennis player. Yeah. She had the complexity that she couldn't throw two flags.
Okay.
Because she had to actually give up on one of the identities.
Yeah.
Because the Japan required that you only have one nationality.
Okay. Well, Japanese,
because they're prideful of their own.
Japanese, I have to respect that as well.
They're very prideful that if you want to throw two ups, you got to give up on us. Then you got to take one of them.
But any last words?
Hey, we got a quick package out here. Only thing I can say right now is like about feeling that you belong. Remember always where you came from. Like, so let's say if you were born in another country, but your family or your parents are from some else place, try to find out about the roots. Try to find out where your roots are brought up from, and what was that culture, and adapt to it. Like I said, I'm not saying that it's wrong for you to adapt to the culture that you live in right now, and you must adapt to it because it's a country that you live in, out of respect and in order for the community to roll and function, you have to be part of it as well. So I don't mean that you have to give up on another one, but you also have to show and appreciate the other part of you, because you'll in our situation we'll always have that duality, in that sense that we have the Finnish background and we have also the our home country background, and yeah, and how would I say else? As me, I don't have much. Kind of having brain fog at this moment. I ain't got much. At this point, I ain't got much. But yeah, that's in my department. How about you? Have any?
You gave good.
Bro, I was struggling, bro. I was struggling, bro. What you mean I was good?
Don't forget. I'm just saying with plain words. Don't sell your soul, even if it's tempting, even if it does look well, even if it looks very attractive, and you get opportunities and you get friends. Trust me, it's not worth it. It will never be worth it, because you will never sleep well. You can never eat food well. You can never look yourself in the mirror so you can be proud of who you are. And most importantly, when you die and you meet God, what then? You will look God and say, well, God said, why you sell your soul? I gave that to you and you sold it. Why? Because somebody else said that you're good this way and not that way.
Hey, this guy went deep all of a sudden. What the fuck?
Yeah, because I hate, to my deepest core, I hate the fact that somebody sells their soul because of their approval. This is my last thoughts. Anything else?
Yes, always. Always. We always have someone else. Motherfuckers, you know what to do. You know what to do. Shit. No extra explanation. You know what to do.
You know what to do. Exactly. I'm not even gonna say.
Hey.
If you don't do it, then I believe you.
Yeah, he's calling y'all incels if y'all know how
not
to
incel,
do it.
Incel is like a big word. Stupid. I'm gonna just say stupid.
Plead the fifth.
Hey, thank you for watching and listening. I hope to see you again.
Peace.
Jesus Christ.